to tell me that this CGR BS has been going on for how long, and none of these jokers have had the fortitude, the self-loathing, the cranial trauma necessary to play motherfucking Adventure Island? I mean, just look at Derek. Dude shouts cranial trauma every time he opens his mouth. But no, he was too busy calling GameStops about Battletoads, so it's left up to me to take on that bald guy's magnum opus, Takahashi Meijin no Bouken Jima, aka where did they come up with Master Higgins anyway? It's Takahashi Meijin, dammit, the skateboarding Charlie Brown lookalike who famously took the gaming world of the 1980s by storm with his 16 Hz rapid firing in Star Force. That's right, 16 Hz, 16 shots per second with his bare hands because the dude's a freak. And now he's a freak in a loincloth. What you're witnessing is the state of gaming in 1986. Or 1988 for the North American version, or 1992 out in Europe, and I have to suspect that they had better things to do by then than die on this thing a million times. You want to know how 80s this game is? You can only continue if you find a completely invisible item in the first level, and if you miss it, you can never get it back. So for the edification of future generations, those who don't have the sense to just watch Arno try and fail at this thing ad nauseum and eventually pass it off to Urikawa, here's what you need to do. Right before the end of the stage, you have to jump up and down at the edge of this utterly unremarkable cliff until an egg appears from out of nowhere. Break the egg and you'll find the Hudson Bee, which was their mascot and which has been completely ignored since at least Super Bomberman. There. Now this game is almost playable. First thing you'll notice once you get your hands on it is that the controls are all kinds of loose. Bears mentioning that this thing shares its engine with the infamous Wonder Boy series, a strange platform RPG hybrid that proves it doesn't matter how much you spend on armor, you're still gonna slide right off a rock and die in lava. But you won't find armor here on this Adventure Island, oh no. You've got crudely constructed hatchets for throwing and maybe some fireballs, and if you're particularly lucky, you might hatch an egg containing a hot chick, who happens to be a bee. And because this happened in the 1980s, she immediately got her own anime series, 51 episodes, and a spin-off game, Takahashi Meijin no Bug-tte Honey. She's obviously the most important character in this game as well, as she's pretty much the one thing protecting you from all of the spiders, rocks, squids, bonfires, and other ridiculous hazards you'll come across. Now, if all those hazards weren't enough, you've also got a health bar that has to be constantly replenished using the fruits and vegetables scattered throughout each stage, or you collapse where you stand and are left to the vultures. From everything I've told you, it certainly seems like this Adventure Island should be a tough sell, and perhaps it is. Nostalgic love for this beast seems to smell a bit like Stockholm Syndrome, where we love it because back in the day there wasn't much else, and even making it to the third world, of 8 mind, was enough of an accomplishment to merit recess yard superiority. I mean, presentation-wise, it's not particularly bad, the graphics are colorful and well-drawn, and the audio screams 1986 Hudson louder than any copyright notice ever could. So our thanks go out to Mark in Fresh Meadows, New York, for sending us one of the downright nastiest games ever conceived by fellow human beings. Remember, you should only play games for an hour each day, and at that rate, you might finish this thing just before the heat death of the universe.